So you've got an E60 M5 like I do, or you have an E92 M3, or you just have any other kind of BMW 3 Series or M Series car, or you just want to find out the general health of your engine. How do you know the rod bearings aren't gone on this car other than listening to it? Stethoscope, that's one option. You can't see anything under the hood here. There's nothing obvious going on under the hood. So how do you check for an engine that's wearing out too quickly, like you might find in an E60 M5, or you might find in that M3? The E92s and E90s, they have a reputation as well because they're basically the same engine. Well, I'm going to walk you through. There is an actual process that you can do that's not invasive, that you can really get down to how good your rod bearings are in these cars. And therefore, you want to do your checks to make sure that you are satisfied with the condition of the engine. I'm going to walk you through that. Let's go. So if you want to find out where to get that information from, so how do you do the oil sample checks to make sure you understand the health of your engine? Well, there's a great little place, and it is basically called Blackstone. So if you type it in, Blackstone Labs oil analysis, so Blackstone oil analysis, click on that. Now it takes you to the labs. We'll click on the Blackstone Labs. Now basically this is a great little website here. Now this is a place that unfortunately if you own an E60 M5 or maybe an E92 M3 or an E60 M3 or numerous other BMWs, and a lot of times it's the more high performance cars, this is something you may wind up being familiar with. So what this is a company that essentially takes a sample of your oil and they run it through a series of tests and looks for certain elements within the oil that would suggest the condition of your oil, or what is happening on the inside of your motor. There's a lot of times you can't see what's going on inside the engine. This does not lie. This gives you the facts. So I'm just going to give you a quick walk down how that works. Here's a quick, about us. What are they talking about? What is oil analysis? The people, the ASTM. So there's actual standards, test standards. Now, what is oil analysis? We'll click on that as a quick rundown. So the thing that we're most concerned with as a BMW owner, that are worried about rod bearings, for example. Rod bearings is the big thing. These guys do 4 individual tests as part of a standard test. As you see here, what does a standard analysis include? Well, let's start down here. Flashpoint test. That essentially is checking for flashpoints. So if you have too low a flashpoint in your oil during this test, what that usually means is you wind up having too much fuel in. You'll have a fuel issue where you have fuel in your oil. Sometimes that means poor fueling issues, or you're leaking down injectors or some other related mechanical issue that's allowing gas in your oil. There's a viscosity test, which essentially is looking for the thickness of your oil. Pretty standard routine test there. The insolubles test really is talking about the abrasive solids that are developing from your oil as a result of oxidation within the oil. This sort of kind of suggests of the age of oil, poor oil condition as a whole will be found here. Now the spectral exam is the one that we're really concerned with here. As the BMW E60 owner, this is the information I'm going to want to understand. And what the spectral exam does, it's using a spectrometer, which essentially is looking for the various metals and additives that are present in the oil. So the metals, for example, could be copper, lead. Those are the metals in the oil that you do not want to find high trace amounts in your oil. Unfortunately, with the E60, when you start seeing elevated copper elements within your oil, that usually means you're into rod bearing replacement time. Hopefully you catch it even before that. And that's why this oil analysis is actually good as a preventative measure to do, possibly even annually. Now it brings you to the question, well, how do I do this? There's no Blackstone lab where I live. That's fair enough. So what you do is you go into the products section here, and you'll notice there's a few things you can do. Free test kits. You click on that, and what that basically means is they will send, for a cost of $28, they will send you the kit for free. And basically, you put your oil in that kit, you send the kit back to their facility, which their mailing address is included in the website here. You fill in all the relevant information that they're asking for and what you're looking for here. Of course, you can pick gas, diesel engine, aircraft, industrial, and so on and so forth. You pick all the relevant information, give them a little bit of background history in the comment section, and again, as I say, they will send you a kit for $28, and it will ultimately give you the analysis results of your engine. And that will tell you overall the oil condition of your engine. So also included here, when you go to this section right here, the information section, they give you the actual sampling procedures that you are to follow so that you're getting the most accurate results. Of course, there's a lot of information, testimonials, but this is where you're also going to want to check. So under the services section, you'll check report explanation, click on that, and what they do is essentially give you a copy. So gas and diesel report, we'll click on that, and this basically is what that report looks like. And when I zoom in on this, you're able to see aluminum, chromium, copper. It tells you the actual industry standard and where your car is, related to that standard. It gives you the different components of, the findings in the oil, as well as they make a general comment. If you've got elevated numbers in certain parts, in certain areas, this here will kind of give you a good summary. And these guys will not only give you the numbers, but they will give you some recommendations as well. So please, you guys, make sure you share this video with your friends. Let them all know that there are options. Like and for sure subscribe to the channel. Thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.